At the White House, let's talk about this with Republican Congressman Mike Rogers of Michigan. He's the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for joining us. I've done some research. There may have been a case where a NATO ally expelled a CIA station chief. I don't remember a time when they publicly made that kind of announcement. How big of a deal is this?
Well, it's a huge deal, and for those of us who value the German-American relationship, I'm very, very, very concerned. But they sure seem to be spending a lot of time, Wolf, worrying about what the American intelligence services are doing, and their parliament is not necessarily worrying about what the German intelligence services are doing. And so, again, I think these are important countries with important economies, both the U.S. and Germany, and the rest of the G7, plus one, if you will, economies. And it just doesn't seem like a very adult reaction to expel the CIA chief from Germany, and it's concerning, and it's a political temper tantrum like I've never seen before, that I think is not productive. It is jeopardizing both intelligence cooperation and relationships with beyond the intelligence relationship between America and Germany.
Are you suggesting, Mr. Chairman, as I think you are, that the U.S. had no choice but to engage in this kind of clandestine effort because the Germans themselves, their intelligence services, were not really doing the necessary job?
Well, a couple of things. One, I would never confirm or deny any intelligence operation by the United States government ever, and that's something we would never, ever do. But I will tell you that I am very confident, as the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, that the German intelligence services have at least peeked over the shoulder of American policymakers in their interest to collect intelligence for the benefits of Germany. And we get it. This is an adult relationship. The problem here is that they have Iranian spies there, they have Russian spies there, they have the whole host and panoply of countries who are spying in Germany. I don't see them interested in throwing their chiefs out. And again, what's so concerning about this is there are times that the American intelligence services have provided information that have saved German lives because they have this convoluted rule system about what they can and can't do at the local level in Germany when it comes to intelligence that we know has disrupted terrorist plots in Germany. It's frustrating to those of us who believe in a broader understanding and understanding that sometimes even our allies have relationships with our adversaries that are of concern. And some notion that they're going to jeopardize all of those relationships over this alleged incident that they may or may not have all their facts right is very, very concerning to me. It seems far more political, it seems far more temper tantrum-like than it does an adult conversation about very important countries engaged in very important economic and military and I think stabilization efforts around the world.
The White House officials are suggesting the President of the United States was not actually informed of this kind of intelligence operation inside Germany, if in fact it's true. Shouldn't the President, who's Commander-in-Chief, know that the U.S. would be doing this if in fact it was?
Well, again, I am not going to confirm or deny any intelligence operation that the U.S. intelligence services do. Again, I'm going to tell you that it's really interesting to me. I mean, I'd be glad to meet with a German parliamentarian that has the ability to understand current operations by their intelligence services, that has the ability to oversee them, budget them, and understand both future and proposed intelligence operations. Problem is, Wolf, it doesn't exist. I'm going to encourage the Germans to understand fully what the German intelligence services are doing today. And that means to U.S. personnel, it means to personnel around the world. And by the way, I don't think that's a problem. I understand it. And so, again, that's why I think this is so important. Do you want to have an adult relationship as we go forward on a very complicated world that's very dangerous, and you're going to jeopardize the fact that U.S. intelligence services have provided information that have saved German lives, period, unequivocal, that's exactly what's happened. And I worry that they're taking this as a political knee-jerk reaction and not knowing all of the set of information that they need to understand, they being the Parliament of Germany, even their executive branch, if you will, and being very candid with the German people. I think if you don't
think the Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, is up to speed on what's going on?
Well, I can't say. I certainly see her reaction to throw out the CIA chief in Germany tells me that either she doesn't or she does and has made a serious mistake here. This is something that we would expect from the Russians, we would expect from the Iranians, we would expect from the North Koreans. We don't expect from our allies, the Germans, where they know of this really important intelligence relationship. And by the way, again, as the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, I feel very confident in telling you and your viewers that, listen, the German intelligence services, they're engaged in espionage, including against U.S. persons. And so I'm a little surprised by this whole reaction. I think it's more political than substantive, and I would hope that they would not jeopardize this very important relationship in the world between the U.S. And the German people on something that doesn't seem quite right to me. I mean, if they have the facts, and maybe they don't, and if they don't, Wolf, I'm saying they better get the facts, and they better get them pretty soon.
Very strong words from the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Rogers. Thanks, Mr. Chairman, very much for joining us. We'll stay